Today we're going to talk about absolutely everything you need to know about the Hermes Kelly To Go wallet on chain. Now, a lot of you all are very familiar with the Hermes classic Kelly wallet, and that is an iconic wallet that Hermes has had for years, probably decades. It is such a popular wallet, and so Hermes kind of wisened up and they were like, wow, our long wallet is so popular. We know small bags are also in style. Wallets on chain sell really well. So why don't we create our own version by just adding a strap to the Kelly wallet, and we'll call it the Kelly Wallet To Go. Now, if you're wondering the difference in price between the two, because it just looks like one has a strap and one doesn't, it is pretty significant. The regular Kelly wallet is $3,675 if you get it in Epsom, which is a pretty popular material for Kelly wallets and Kelly To Gos. Now, I purchased my Kelly To Go wallet, from the Hermes boutique here in San Francisco in January. And I've got the receipt to tell you how much that I paid. So I purchased this on January 31st, 2022, and this cost me before tax $4,175. But with tax, it ended up costing $4,535.34. But what's really interesting about this is that if you were to buy the Kelly To Go from Hermes today, unfortunately, Hermes has hit us with a price increase. And this one's a little bit bigger than their price increases normally. So when it was, around $4,100, today it now costs $4,575. So with tax, this will now run you about $5,000. But if you are going to purchase this same wallet on the secondhand market, you could definitely expect to pay a premium. As with all Hermes, Birkins and anything in the Kelly family, the resellers are killing us. So on the Preloved Market, you find these starting around the $6,000 range, and then they go up to $7,000, $8,000, and then for ones that might be like a Kelly Touch with a little bit of exotic, here on the sangles, or a fully exotic, those are like $10,000 plus. So I would say, if you can, try and snag this from the Hermes store, but it is a really popular item, so you do have to wait for it. I had to wait for mine. This is one of the first things I mentioned to my Hermes associate that I wanted, and I didn't get it until January of this year. Granted, I'm not a VIP customer, I'm not a big spender at Hermes, so it made sense that I had to wait, but just know that it's highly unlikely it's something that'll be readily available unless you get really lucky and there's a new shipment in store. But let's talk about the specs and the wear and tear of this specific bag. So as you can see, mine is in this beautiful color chai, which is a color that they've had in the past, but they brought it back as a seasonal color, and I'm so glad they did, because I'm being totally honest, I know that this looks very similar to their ever popular color gold, which is Hermes's tan color. I honestly like this one a little bit better on my skin tone. I still think gold is a beautiful color, but I think this looks better, with my overall coloring. But it's in the color chai, and it's also in Epsom leather, which is a textured leather, kind of similar in nature to Saffiano. I know that you can, obviously get Saffiano leathers from a lot of different brands, and that's where brands basically, they man-made, add a texture to the leather. It's the same with Epsom. Now, Epsom is a very durable leather. It holds its shape well. For the most part, it's pretty scratch resistant, but when you do get a scratch in Epsom leather, if you get it too deep, unfortunately, sometimes the Hermes spa and the artisans working at the spa, they're not able to get all scratches out of Epsom leather. Now, if you get cosmetic ones that are just, on the surface, those they can work with, those they can spa, but just be aware that even though there are so many benefits to getting Epsom, if a bear claw type of situation happens, or just a really bad scratch happens, unfortunately it might not be able to be spa'd, which is really sad. But overall, I think mine has worn really well so far, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But it's chai, Epsom leather, and it is in palladium hardware, which is, Hermes's bougie way of saying silver hardware. And I think one really cool thing about this specific Kelly To Go is that it is a verso bag. And Verso is the name that Hermes uses when the inside color of the bag is different than the outside. And very clearly, this one has a beautiful, very light pink color, almost with like a hint of lilac mixed in, but overall, like it's definitely a color pink. And this is their shade Mauve Sylvester. And then this is another seasonal color for Hermes, and it's very similar to one of their most popular colors. I'm sure a lot of you all love this color called Rose Sakura. This is very similar, but again, it is a little bit cooler because it's got that like hint of like bluish purplish undertone to it. But if I'm being really honest, I do prefer the Mauve Sylvester to Rose Sakura, so I was really thrilled about the overall combination of this bag and, you know, when my sales associate offered it to me, because honestly, she did not tell me what color it was before I went to go pick it up, and I was so nervous it was gonna be like some like crazy bright color that I wasn't, you know, so in love with. And I was so relieved, not just to see it, you know, in this beautiful chai color, but then when I opened it up and saw the Verso, I was like, I am so fortunate, thank you. So I made sure to thank my sales associate 1,000 times after that. But, so those are the overall specs of the bag, and the strap that it has here is a really nice drop length in my opinion. So the strap drop length, it's in between like 20 inches and 21 inches. It's a little over 20, but not quite 21. And so I think that this is a great length for a lot of people, unless you're especially tall. Like if you're close to around like 6 feet, you might feel like maybe this is a little bit too short for you. I think it wears beautifully as a shoulder bag. I think it complements outfits so nicely. And also I can wear it crossbody. It looks absolutely gorgeous crossbody. It's not one of those situations where it's too short and just like sits up under your chest. I think it looks absolutely beautiful. But again, if you are on the taller side or maybe on the curvier side, you know, if you've got a bit of a bigger chest, this probably wouldn't crossbody so well for you. So just something to keep in mind. You can't really use a chain shortener here. If you did, you would have to like end up bending the leather, and I don't think it'd be very user friendly. So I wouldn't suggest that. Now let's actually take a look at the inside of the bag, because there are some notable differences that I want to point out between this bag and the classic Kelly wallet. So if you want to take a look inside, you can see here that this is where the strap attaches. There are these little knobs where you can basically just like pull off the strap. I will say it's really tight when you first get it. So like I had a really hard time pulling off the strap when I was in the store picking it up. I actually asked a security guard who had to come help me like pull it off, and he made me feel very weak when he did that. But here it is. The thing about the strap is that it's not adjustable. So, you know, this is just one length. You only get one set of holes on either side. Now, obviously you can take this off and you can wear this just as like a regular wallet. Honestly, I don't really wear it like that. I'm personally not really into big wallets, but if you are, you can definitely do that. But there's something you really need to keep in mind, and it's that this honestly is not a very efficient layout for a wallet. Now, I don't understand why Hermes did this, but they made the inside a little bit different than that of the classic Kelly wallet. The classic Kelly wallet has a ton of card slots on the inside of the bag, on the front and the back. It looks like there's 6 card slots on either side, plus one long slit on either side, in addition to the zippered middle pocket. Now, the Kelly To Go does still have card slots on either side, but you'll see that they're laid out quite a bit differently. Here, there's just 2 vertical card slots in the back, and then 2 more vertical card slots in the front. So really, I mean, at the end of the day, if you were to what I think would be stretching it, if you were to put 2 cards in each one of those slots, that's only 8 cards, which is fine if you're a minimalist, but I know that like, if someone were buying this with the intent to use it both as a wallet, like a true wallet, and a bag, they'd probably be disappointed because there are really only 4 card slots, which I think is kind of a bummer. But if I'm putting on like my business hat and I'm trying to understand why Hermes did this, I think they probably did it because they wanted to differentiate the classic Kelly wallet and the Kelly To Go, and they didn't want to cannibalize sales. Like they didn't want people to stop buying the classic Kelly wallet because they'd buy a Kelly To Go. So this way they made them different, right? And they're like, you know what? If you want a true Kelly wallet, you're still gonna have to buy the regular wallet too. So good job to Hermes for always being very strategic in how they market and sell their products. But so you can see here, there are the 2 card slots in the front, there are 2 in back, and then there is this really nice zippered pocket here, which is really good. I'll often put like a hair comb in here, or my cash, or you can put like a parking ticket. And one thing that I think is really cute is that it does have the quintessential Kelly lock here. So I think that that is a very nice detail. And if you're wondering where the stamp is on this bag, it's on the inside underneath, like underneath the flap, but it's above the Kelly turn lock. So you can see here, you've got a nice little Hermes stamp there. So that's really it. I think in terms of specifications of the bag, I know one thing you all are also probably wondering about is, you know, how easy is it to open and close the bag? And honestly, as long as you don't overstuff the bag, I think it's really carefree. Like you just put the flap down on it like this, and then you put the sangles on top, and then you twist it. So, I mean, it is a few more steps than the average bag, but all Kelly bags, you know, operate this way, and I have not had any issues with it whatsoever. If you're feeling lazy, and like say for instance, you don't feel like doing up the sangles, you can also wear it, you know, the way a lot of people do like to wear their Kellys. So they'll just leave the sangles hanging down here, and instead they'll just put the flap on top and turn the turn lock like that. And so it is still like somewhat secure, but I would say like if you're walking around somewhere where you're worried about being pickpocketed, I probably wouldn't wear it like this. But if you're in an area that's very safe, I wear it like this all the time. It's not a big deal at all. Now, one of my concerns when I got this bag was that I was thinking, you know, would the Kelly turn lock stick out and would it get stuck on things? Because I mean, if you look at it here, like there is definitely some volume and depth associated with the turn lock. Like it adds more space to the bag. But honestly, it doesn't get stuck on anything. I was really surprised by that. I think it's fine. It's not a big deal. And I like that it adds a little something to the bag because overall, this is obviously a very chic and understated streamlined bag. It's one of the reasons I like it so much. I really love the overall styling of it. I think it goes well with like the shape and size of the bag. And I think that it makes this bag extremely versatile. I think that you can wear this bag in a lot of different situations. And so I think that even though it's a little bit pricey relative to the regular classic Kelly wallet, I think it's worth it because at the end of the day, you're getting a mini bag from Hermes with all that craftsmanship and quality, and it's so versatile. Like I can wear this during the day, I can wear it running errands, I can wear it out to lunch, I can wear it out in the evenings. You know, I've worn this on dates. I can even wear this like to the club and stuff. Not that there are that many clubs in San Francisco, let's be honest, but because it's Epsom, like it is really durable. Now with that said, I am a tiny bit upset with myself because I did scratch the bag. It's so tiny you can barely see it, and I don't even know when it happened. I'll see if the camera can pick it up, and if not, it's right here. It looks like I must have done it like with my keys or something like that, but if it doesn't work, I'll include like a close-up shot. But I don't even know when it happened, but I got a little scratch, but it looks really cosmetic. It just looks like it's on the surface. I'm sure it's something that, you know, in a few years, once there's been a lot more wear and tear on the bag, I think, you know, I could go take that, have it spot, and that will be gone, but you literally can barely see it. So I am disappointed in myself, but this also just does show you that Epsom does scratch. So just beware of that. But the rest of the bag, I think, looks pristine. Like if you look at it here, the bag is perfectly shaped. I don't think that there are any, you know, stains, any misformations, you know, any types of dents or creasing. I think it looks perfect. And also, I mean, in terms of the hardware itself, the hardware does have a few hairline scratches, but just so you know, that is to be expected with purchasing anything that has metal on it from Hermes, whether it's a Birkin, a Kelly, fashion jewelry, if there's ready to wear with like little pieces of metal, they are all going to get little hairline scratches. So it's going to be expected, but honestly, it's gotten far fewer scratches than I thought it would. So I have no complaints in terms of durability, wear and tear. And I will tell you, I think the most surprising thing about this bag is how much you can fit inside. If you just take a look at this bag, it looks like a really thin bag, and like it does not seem like it would fit a lot, but that couldn't be further from the truth. She is like a silent sleeper, like she's a workhorse. She can fit so much inside. So let me show you everything that will fit inside this bag. Alrighty, you can see we've got nothing in here and we're gonna start from scratch. So first things first, I'm gonna put my cards in here. I think I mentioned this earlier, but I only ever put one card in each slot. I do think you could put two in there, but it might stretch it out if you were to leave the cards in there for like an extended period of time. So personally, I recommend only putting one in each slot, but if you need to bring some extra cards with you, you can always add them inside the little zippered compartment here. So don't feel worried about the number of cards. I mean, unless you're someone who needs like 30 cards, I think you'll be fine. So I've got all my cards in here, and now I'm going to add, I know this looks like kind of bobo, it is my phone cover. So I'm gonna add this to show you everything that fits with a phone. And I did pre-pack the bag right before this, just to verify everything that would fit with a phone inside. So, phone, I put it in the back pocket, so you can see it there. And then you can fit so many cosmetics in the front, but you just have to be willing to be smart about it, like pick your sample sizes, pick your thinner items, your longer items, you know, don't pick like your big bulky ones. And B, you gotta be willing to play a little bit of Tetris, but for those of you that like small bags, such as myself, I feel like Tetris like is a way of life. Like you have to know how to play Tetris if you want to wear small bags. As you all know, I will always, always, always keep a Benefit pencil with me to pencil in my crazy looking eyebrows. And it's always good to keep some lip stuff with you. So here I've got a Kat Von D lipstick and a nice, I actually don't even know how to say this brand. I think it's like Uoma lip liner. So I'll show you that I'm gonna put these three in there. And then I'm also gonna add in two more lip items. I've got a little gloss bomb from Fenty, which I think is on sale now. So I'll try and find links for everything I talked about, but I'll try and find this. It's actually a beautiful color, I highly recommend it. I'll fit that in there. And also this great Cosa Sport, it's a hyaluronic lip balm, but honestly, I always think of this as a lipstick. Like if you look at it, it's very pigmented. It goes on like lipstick. So I love it, but I wouldn't consider this a lip balm like some other tinted lip balms. So you can put all those in there plus a couple other things. But say for instance, you're like, Lily, I don't need 5 lip things. I need to make sure I've got some lotion or moisturizer or something else. Here are some other types of items that like you could swap in and out. Like these are kind of the types of shapes. I've got like a mini sunscreen here from Goop. I've got a mini like coconut milk hand lotion. Oh, and another lip gloss from Mario Badescu. Or even like this little, I've got like a mini Fenty lipstick. These are the types of products you want to be using when you're using your Kelly To Go. So let's go ahead and I'll just show you. I'm going to put them all in here. So I'll probably do the Benefit pencil at the bottom, and then I'll add in the Kat Von D and the lip liner. And then I will put in the gloss bomb and the chapstick. And so here you can see, I hope you can see, I don't want like everything to fall out, all of those in there. And then, like I said, I'll often like bring a comb, so I'll put this in the middle like zipper pocket, that like so. And then I will put my keys in here. And I think that's a good amount of stuff. I mean, honestly, like you can fit more in there. Like I often carry like a little bit of gum or like my Listerine like breath strip things. But you know, you also like don't want to like stretch the bag. So, you know, I feel like that's a good amount of stuff. So I'll show you, it's very easy to close up. And I think that it's amazing that this bag fits all of this stuff plus a phone. I mean, that is a super efficient mini bag. Like, look at that. Don't get me wrong, she gets a little thick with a couple C's once you put the phone and other stuff in there, but everything fits in there just great. The one thing there, or actually not one thing, there are two things that don't fit well if you want to put all this other stuff in there. Now, if you take the phone out, you could fit AirPods or you could fit like your car key. But I think those things would not fit in there along with the phone. So I don't even try because I don't want to stretch out the bag. But you definitely could do, like if you take the phone out, you could put your AirPods in there and some of the other items. Probably not all of them, but I just wanted to share that for those of you where like AirPods are life, you know, it's always good to know. So that is everything that fits inside the bag. I know a lot of y'all requested to see a comparison of this versus like the Chanel wallet on chain or Chanel like mini rectangle bag. I'm gonna do that in a separate video just because I don't want this one to be too long, but I will be sure to do that within the next few weeks so you all can take a look at that too and decide if the Kelly To Go is right for you. overall, in terms of my thoughts on the bag, do I recommend this bag? Absolutely. Is it one of my favorite bags in my collection? Yes. Do I wear it all the time? Yes. Now, I also think that's because I was very fortunate that I got it in a neutral color, so that's also probably one of the reasons I wear it all the time. If this were a bright color like yellow or orange, I probably wouldn't wear it as much, but I would still wear it a lot. And if I'm being really honest, I would actually like to add additional Kelly To Gos to my collection. I don't think, obviously, my Hermes SA would give me one anytime soon. Maybe in a couple years, I'll ask for like another neutral, a pop of color, something like that. All I know is that I am not willing to spend like $10,000 on the Preloved Market to get one, so it's gonna have to come from Hermes. But it's a great bag, and also I think this applies to most Hermes bags, what I love about this, and especially the fact that it's a newer style of bag, is that unless you know that it's a Kelly To Go, people would not look at this and know that it's a luxury bag. I think people would look at it and think it's a very chic bag. They think it's really nice, really pretty, you know, and again, like just very like chic and contemporary, but people, like this doesn't scream Hermes unless you're familiar like with the hardware and like the sangles and stuff like that. So it's also really nice if you're looking for a more understated bag. So yeah, that's it. Those are my thoughts on the Kelly To Go. I hope that you found this review helpful. And if you have any questions or if there's anything you want to know, definitely drop them down in the comments below and I will be sure to answer, because I know how important it is to like get your due diligence done before you're about to drop like $5,000 on a bag. So don't be shy with the questions. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, I would love it if you could just give this video a little like. Just give a little thumbs up down in the corner below. And if you haven't already, what are you doing? You need to subscribe to my channel. So that way you can get all my latest content about all things shopping delivered straight to you. Thank you again for watching. My name is Lily and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye everyone.